in one of the weirdest, dumbest, stupidest, craziest, I don't knowest ways, James Harden made a dunk. But it didn't count, so I'm going to show that to you over my face right now. But honestly, in my long years of watching basketball, this is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. James Harden made the dunk, but the way he threw it down and how much force he threw through it and the angle, it went under the net, or the net threw it back through over the rim again, and it went out. And they called it a miss. The Rockets ended up losing by 2 in double overtime. We're going to talk about that, but also the controversy itself and why it's a big deal. Man, what a crazy sequence of events. The Rockets called a timeout after that, demanded a challenge, or not demanded a challenge, demanded the refs look at it. It was like, hey, that went in. According to the refs, D'Antoni didn't call a challenge within the 30-second window. There's a 30-second window that you can challenge a play. The coaches have challenges now in the NBA. That's what I've read so far. But what? He literally made a dunk, like, through the basket, clearly through the basket, and they didn't count it and they didn't review it. Like, I get that there's a coach challenge now, and they said he didn't do it in time, but there's got to be another way to look at that, right? I mean, the Rockets blew like a 20-point lead to the Spurs on the road. Lonnie Walker went off in the fourth, and the Spurs ended up winning in double overtime by 2 points. That 2 points ended up being crucial. If they make that, they could have won at the end of regulation. They could have won. I didn't watch the game, but let's see here at the end. The Spurs had to make a three-pointer to tie the game up and send it to overtime. So if that dunk counts, the Rockets are up 5 with 16 seconds left instead of being up 3. And that is a big difference because then they're up 2. They probably foul Harden or they foul Westbrook. They'll likely make 1 of 2 at worst. So that's a 3-point game again. Then they got to make another 3-pointer, and it's just a lot that has to happen. So there's a lot of controversy with this, and obviously there should be. With 7.5 minutes left, about 7 minutes and 50 seconds, James Harden misses this dunk. At the time, they're up 13. If the dunk is counted, they're up 15 points. 15 points with 7:50. You'd expect them to hold that lead. Well, they didn't, and it ended up costing them that dunk. So we're going to talk about that. We talked about it a little bit, but I'm baffled at this. I've never seen anything like this. I really haven't, that I can remember. He literally made the dunk. The ball went in the basket, and then it went out. And for some reason, they didn't call it. Like, they didn't go back and review it. I don't get that. Like, I feel like there would be a rule. Like, in football, you can call a play before the next play starts, and you can go review it. But once the ball is snapped, basketball is different. It's always moving. It's not like you're moving down the field and you're stopping every play. Basketball is always moving, all right? I'd expect them, even during like a TV timeout or something, a couple minutes later, that's 2 points. Like, you can go back and review it and say, hey, the ball went in the basket. We can give that back to them. That's just so crucial right there, those 2 points. And especially for the Rockets. The Spurs have been struggling this year, 8-14, but the Rockets are in playoff contention. And we've seen in the past, some of the seeding has come down to one game and tiebreakers. We've seen like 4-way ties for the 4th spot or something, or like within 1 game or 2 games. Tiebreakers going crazy, and the 4, 5, and 6 all get shuffled up. And that's, you may be thinking 4, 5, and 6, that's not crucial. Yes, it is. The 4 seed gets home court advantage first round. The 5 seed does not. The 6 seed does not. And if something crazy were to happen, like an upset, I don't know, maybe there's an upset, and you could have a home court second round too. And if you're a 5 or a 6, you're playing the 3 seed in the first round. And if you're the 4 or 5, you're playing each other in the first round. So there's just a lot of things that could happen. We've seen tight races for the last few spots in the Western Conference playoffs. So this is crucial down the stretch. Obviously, 1 game could make a difference when it comes to your seeding, when it comes to home court advantage, making the playoffs even. So this one play could actually be more than we think, not just for this game, but for the long term when it comes to a playoff run, the seeding of the playoffs. So the Rockets are going to have to get themselves some more wins. They're 13-7 right now. Let me check the standings, but Obviously, you got a lot of season to go still, but that's crazy. Just the whole sequence of events that happened. The Spurs ended up winning, as I said. The Rockets are trying to like get something done. They're trying to get them to overturn the results of the game, like give the Rockets the win, or to go back and replay the last 7 minutes and 50 seconds with the dunk going in. I mean, I don't think they'll overturn it. It's gonna take a lot to overturn it. Obviously, I think you have a really good case for it, though. The ball went through the basket. Clearly, that's 2 points. And also, they lost by 2 points in double overtime. And those 2 points would have been crucial at the end of the game because it would have put them up 5 in that last 20 seconds versus up 3. And San Antonio wouldn't have to make a 3 to tie it. It would have just been to cut the lead. So lots of things factoring into that appeal, or to that the Rockets pushing the NBA into doing something about it. It's crazy. Like, I really don't know. Right now, the Rockets are sitting 5th in the conference, a few games ahead of the 8th seed and a game behind the 4th seed, which is the Mavericks. I just don't know what else to say other than that. But what do I think? I don't think they should replay a game. It's going to be hard to overturn it. I mean, the Rockets really should not. They shouldn't have blown a 20-point lead, obviously, but that's just such a blown call that there should have been a way to go back and look at it, to give them those points, because it went in the freaking basket. I just don't. It's mind-boggling. It went through, and it didn't count. You know, I just don't get that. But I'm going to stop rambling on about that because I've been saying the same thing over and over. But, yeah, that's just a crazy NBA thing I didn't think I'd ever be talking about. But here we are. More stuff this week. I don't know. I might do a live stream this weekend if I have time, just answering questions and stuff. I haven't done one of those in quite a while. So keep on the lookout for that. It'll probably be at night, like a Friday night thing maybe. But just keep your eyes out. We'll have fun with it. We'll talk about the NBA, some football, we could just do a reaction to the college football playoff. That'd be fun, to the rankings or whatever. Yeah, let's do that. That'd be fun. But check Twitter for confirmation on that kind of stuff. But craziness in Houston, or in San Antonio actually, but the Rockets end up losing by 2 after one of the weirdest calls I've ever seen. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel, and share.